used to never be able to clean my house without making a bigger mess and then giving up. So these are the cleaning motivation hacks that I use now to beat my ADHD and finally have a house that I don't feel ashamed of anymore. Let's get into it. I saw this Threads on the other day and it was so relatable. It said, people with ADHD, what is something you do that you thought everyone else did but you found out is because you have ADHD? And the most popular comment said, start cleaning one room, then go put something away in another room and start cleaning in that room. Then remember you were cleaning the first room. So then you go back to keep cleaning that room and then get overwhelmed. The whole house needs to be cleaned. So you sit down for a break and to refocus and then get tired and end up taking a nap instead. This is such a common and relatable issue that so many people, including me with ADHD, experience, and it's stopping them from having a tidy home that actually feels like a haven. So on today's episode of the Domestic Daydreams podcast, I'm going to tell you the common mistakes you may be making when trying to hack your cleaning motivation and the cleaning motivation hacks I recommend instead. I've got my vintage jammies, my hair's up in its curlers for the night, and a cozy drink is nearby, so be sure to grab one for you too, and let's get into it. The first mistake I see so many ADHD people making when trying to have a clean house is having a checklist. And that's not to say that you shouldn't have a checklist at all, but my first cleaning motivation hack is to have a checklist and a timer together. Having a checklist on its own never helped me. Sure, I had a list of what needed to get done, but oftentimes it was way too long and I still got distracted by other tasks I'd see around the house. I'd start on one task on the checklist and jump to another before it was finished. So here's how I fixed it. I added a timer, made sure there was no more than 5 tasks on the checklist, and I would speed clean for each task until the timer went off. That timer was absolutely key for me, as well as having a checklist that wasn't overwhelming. Now I have a printable cleaning schedule and checklist for you that I built out for my own ADHD brain, and it's helping thousands of others do the same, so I'll link to that in the show notes for you to check out. Now many of you may have heard the cleaning motivation advice to listen to an audiobook or a podcast while you clean, but I learned the most effective way to do this was to use the sleep timer function on my favorite podcast or audiobook app to act as a timer for each task. I'd have my checklist and then I'll set the sleep timer button for however many minutes I want to work on the first or each task, and I would do that task until the audiobook would automatically stop playing when the timer went off, and then I would move on to the next task and start the timer again. My third cleaning motivation hack for people with ADHD is body doubling. Body doubling is my other favorite hack to get the cleaning done and stay on task. Calling a friend or my husband and talking to them while I work is a great way to reduce that feeling of paralyzation. On days I couldn't do that, I always liked turning on Clean With Me videos on YouTube and just cleaning while they clean. Now my last cleaning motivation hack is to combine it all together. You see, I wanted something that had all of these features in one. Basically that I could just press play and clean to. So I turned vintage radio shows from the 1950s like Fibber McGee and Molly, Father Knows Best, Dragnet, Suspense, and Lux Radio Theater into audio-guided cleaning routines that guide you through daily, weekly, and monthly cleaning tasks on a timer while listening to the vintage radio shows to keep you entertained. Now, here's why this works. Number 1, checklist plus timer hack. There are only 5 a.m. tasks and 5 p.m. tasks every day. As you listen, I tell you what task to do, and each radio show is timed out for each task to help you stay on task. That was a lot of tasks there. Hack number 2 of having a podcast or audiobook to listen to, well, you get to listen to an entertaining show from the 1950s that you'll actually look forward to. The third hack of body doubling. Since my voice is guiding you through each cleaning task and giving you my favorite hacks and tips and tricks for doing each of them, it feels like it's cleaning with a friend, and I promise I'm not the only one to say that. That's actually something that's been said in a lot of reviews. And I even have Clean With Me videos on YouTube and in the membership that I have that play the radio show while it shows me cleaning if you like to turn something on the TV instead. Now I do have free episodes for you to try if you'd like to do that for each of the radio shows, and those links are in the description or the show notes for you. But I hope these cleaning motivation hacks helped you out. I would love to see you back here again next time.